Casa. Yang ini Asana.
Again. Marcos. Finish it. Viva.
It is Tottenham Hotspur's first game in the Mine Series. Chelsea welcome back N'Golo Conte to their starting 11. But it's the same front three that started their 2-1 win at the Emirates of the weekend. Timo Werner set up Kai Havertz in that game for the opening goal. Nuno's team is certainly starting to take shape. It's been 4-3-3 so far, and we'll see if he sticks with that here. Headline news is that Pierluigi Golini starts in goal for the first time since joining on loan from Atalanta. Højbjerg's trained since Friday and comes into midfield with Skip and Dele, Bergwijn, Lucas and Son all look sharp too. On the bench for Spurs, Sissoko, Aurier and Joe Rodon are involved for the first time this pre-season. All three are on the bench, and Chelsea's incredibly stacked squad is still lacking the players involved in the Euro 2020 final. Jorginho, Emerson, Mount, Chilwell and James. Well, it's largely been a sunny evening in the capital, and we are about to get underway, as we were hearing from Eric Dyer. It is unusual to see the two teams face off here in pre-season. There is N'Golo Conte Two of the best holding midfield players in the Premier League, in fact, in action here. Olivier, one of the players of Euro 2020, he was in the official team of the tournament. Well, the players take the knee ahead of kick-off here. So Spurs in their new home strip against Chelsea in theirs. And we'll try and get a flavour for exactly the shape of the team. As I mentioned, it has been 4-3-3 so far, with Lucas Moura on the right, Bergwijn on the left, Son through the middle. Matt Doherty getting a second start under Nuno. Man he knows very well, of course, in their time together at Wolves. Ompay Alonso, one of two players to come into the team today. And Chelsea's formation is familiar now as well, really, ever since Thomas Tuchel took over at the back end of January. 3-4-3, and it was the system through, and Galini gets his first touch of the ball. Ball by Dyer. Telly looking for a runner. Bergwijn. Forward from Chelsea, Timo Werner's there, and it's eventually hacked away by Reguilon, who started the other day against MK Dons as well. Conte waited out to Hudson-Odoi, and this is one of the interesting things that Chelsea have done pre-season, is use Callum Hudson-Odoi as a wing-back. And it's the position he takes up here. Foul by Tanganga. Timo Werner, who has a good record against Spurs, not only for Chelsea but also from his time at RB Leipzig when the teams met in the Champions League. It does not feel like a pre-season friendly here. Eric Dyer was making the point to Malsey pre-match that it's not uncommon to face fellow Premier League opposition in pre-season these days, but normally in far-flung lands, perhaps in North America or in Asia. Lucas Moura, super run. Now Bergwijn. Son, can he work the shooting angle here? He does, and the deflection took it on target, and Mendy is there to parry it behind. Son's first sight of goal here. Bit of free development work down that end of the stadium, by the way, as they're preparing for the possibility of safe standing in football. See some of the rails being put in at Stamford Bridge. Son's delivery is not his best. Reguilon caught, and chance to swing the ball into the area. He's not a natural defender, Hudson-Odoi, being asked to play out in that right wing-back position. Actually, if I think back to the, I think at least the first two games of Tuchel's era as Chelsea boss, he played Hudson-Odoi in that position before Reece James took hold of it and had a fantastic end to the season. Son's delivery. Dyer was trying to meet it. Ziyech. And here goes Timo Werner. Chelsea very effective on the counter-attack. Still Werner. And he can only find Reguilon. Dele has managed to get around N'Golo Conte, but Chalobah's in his way this time. Super work from Dele again. Skip. Yanka and Dyer, the central pairing at the back. Doherty with a skip. Interesting to know how much Højbjerg's taken on board since coming back to training on Friday, in terms of what Nuno wants from his players. Super couple of minutes of play from Dele as he swings it out to Bergwijn. Trying to find Son at the near post as Skip is bundled over. Doherty just to get around Alonso, who was nearly clumsy. Oh, I think Matt Doherty's been wrong there. Bit of pinball off the two, but it did look like the final touch was off Alonso. There. Rudiger. To Zuma. This is only the Euro 2020 players that have been filtering back for Chelsea this week. Thiago Silva reached the Copa America final with Brazil. And was pictured in film training this week, but he's not involved. Foul by Reguilon. Conte. To Mendy. For number 24, that is normally Reece James's number, but it's being worn here by Trevor Chalobah, a defender or midfielder who has just returned from a loan spell away at Lorient and Liga. One back by Dele. Son. Conte as well eventually. To Nadoy. Ziyech. It's just over and over to Tescalini. Chelsea sprung into action. So much pace through their side. Ziyech, who scored against Spurs in the infamous Champions League semi-final for Ajax, in which Lucas Moura made himself a legend. Speaking of Lucas Moura, he does brilliantly to win the header. Bergwijn can't get away from Chalobah. Conte. Now Ziyech. Reguilon and Dele have dealt with it. scored a memorable goal here down that end. And win at Stamford Bridge, where he trapped a ball from height. Kovacic. Now Rudiger. Nadoi, Perna, N'Golo Conte. We run through to Galini. Chelsea haven't made many moves into the football club yet. Their only signing is a third-choice goalkeeper, Marcus Bettinelli. Has been released by Fulham. Plenty of movement out to the club, including the likes of Olivier Giroud joining Milan. And a hefty loan contingent, of course, being sent out to various football clubs. Tanganga does well there. Good hustle from Ziyech too. By Bergwijn. Only need a quick glance at social media tonight, though, to see Chelsea being heavily linked with Romelu Lukaku returning to the football club after winning the title with Inter. Certainly does seem Chelsea trying to find a new centre forward. Swept forward by Rudiger, and it's straight into Galini. To Tanganga. Slightly heavy touches, needs to use his strength, and that's really composed. The Spurs Academy player. Swept out to Eric Dyer again, who did not feature the other day against MK Dons. Carter Vickers started as centre-back with Tanganga, and Carter Vickers is on the bench. Delhi. Can't thread it around Hudson-Odoi. It's been one of the interesting points of pre-season. Delhi dropping into deeper positions on the left side of that midfield three, collecting the ball off the left back near the halfway line, trying to make things happen. Conte, fabulous ball from the World Cup winner into Alonso. Havertz, haven't seen much of him so far, but he swept in a fine ball. And Delhi's just pinched it away from Ziyech. Chelsea ball. Nadoi, deep ball out towards Alonso, who heads on target. Comfortable for Galini. Fortunately, Marcus Alonso is one of those that Chelsea are looking to offload this summer. They do have an absolutely huge squad, given the likes of Emerson, Jorginho, Mount, Chilwell and Reece James are not back involved in the pre-season matches yet. still named a bench full of international players. Skip collects it off Bergwijn, now Lucas Moura. Chelsea stretched for the first time in a while here. Bergwijn couldn't quite work that, managed to set themselves defensively. Became formidable defensively under Tuchel, following his arrival in January for Frank Lampard. Conte wins it off Lucas Moura. Ziyech invited to shoot, and he does. And it's a tremendous effort. And Chelsea, quarter of an hour into the game, have taken the lead through Hakim Ziyech. Spurs backed off him, and he's made them pay. Chelsea 1, Spurs 0. Well, Lucas Moura has been brilliant, driving in from the wing into central areas in possession in pre-season. But he took on one of the best tacklers around, N'Golo Conte. And Ziyech, with Werner making the run off him, used the space to drive in the effort. Spurs will be disappointed with it defensively. Chelsea go ahead. Spurs need to settle here. Really does not feel like a friendly at all. Someone can't get around Zuma. Another one linked with a move away. West Ham potentially. And so Chelsea bring in perhaps a centre-back with various names linked. Spurs ball. Højbjerg does really well. It's a good forward ball. Bergwijn bringing on the overlap. Son in field tries to work the 1-2, but there's a lot of Chelsea bodies there. Couldn't get down to that effort from Ziyech. Doherty. Son. Højbjerg. Brilliant control. Dele on to Skip, the midfield three working it. One back by Ziyech. And Havertz shifts it on to Werner. Kovacic. Back up to Werner again. Alonso on the overlap. Back by Alonso. Werner can't set himself. Skip gets a toe in. And a chance for Chelsea. Zuma is very quick. This is his man Rudiger, and they both cover Son, trying to get him behind. On by Rudiger. Werner puts it down for him, and Bellini comes out. Been transfer business out of Spurs again in recent days. Joe Hart departing for Celtic. The arrival of Bellini, of course, limiting Joe Hart's opportunity to get game time. Did get to double figures in terms of appearances for Spurs in cup competition last season, Joe Hart. Conte. Skip wins it, Werner gets it back. Werner gets the space here, Timo Werner, great block. Danger not away yet, Ziyech will try again. And he nearly had an excellent second. Chelsea causing problems again. Timo Werner with some good footwork. Eric Dyer got his body on the line. Ziyech tried to bend it into that corner. Clipped by Tanganga. Son gets deep and is trapped all the way by Rudiger. Hudson-Odoi. Ziyech. Too much on that, it's beyond Alonso. Ziyech only scored a couple of Premier League goals in his debut campaign after arriving from Ajax. But he's got one here in pre-season. Just allowed to run straight to goal. Son. Skip. Bounds away from players in blue. Zuma's there this time. Alonso. And Chalobah, but he does collect. Kovacic to pierce that through the middle, and Werner is offside. One count. Timo Werner beyond the last man. Support from Kovacic have really had Spurs troubled. May well have been on there, Timo Werner, with Reguilon on the left-hand side. No VAR though to overturn decisions here. Dele. Conte. Hudson-Odoi. Keeping it well here, Chelsea. Spurs did beat Chelsea last season in the Carabao Cup, you may remember, back in September of last year. Victory at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on penalties. Spurs went on to reach the final. Spurs actually last beat Chelsea in 90 minutes. The Carabao Cup semi-final first leg, that came at Wembley just a couple of months after the famous 3-1 win at Wembley when Heung-min Son scored that incredible solo goal. Zuma collects from Trevor Chalobah, younger brother of Nathaniel Chalobah. Zuma, all right through the middle to Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi. Running at Reguilon. Tries to take on Højbjerg. It's great work. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. He's got it back. He's continued his run. Tries to slip in Son. Pre-season for Spurs so far. The draw with Leyton Orient. And the 3-0 win at Colchester. 3-1 win at MK Dons. Of course, Arsenal await at the weekend. As Werner wins the corner off Tanganga. Zuma is a major threat from corners. Oh, and the free header actually went the way of Rudiger. It was played into that area where Zuma and Rudiger could attack it. Antonio Rudiger got 1 goal last season. Can't keep it down. Kovacic. Rudiger. It's a major year for Spurs. Big transition year with the new head coach. Old heads like Alderweireld and Lamela departing. The free kick. Certainly looks like he bulked up in the Championship, Oliver Skipp. Played 45 of Norwich's 46 Championship games as they went on to get promotion back to the Premier League. Nuno clearly likes him, having started him in his last 3 friendlies. Only missed the final game of Norwich's season because he fractured a metatarsal in the penultimate match, but he's back from that injury. Prime holds off Chalobah. Deli. Højbjerg. Lucas Moura. Fine. Son. He's already had that one proper goal. Deli. Good spell of possession here for Spurs, but Doherty can't move that infield to Lucas Moura. Skipp is trying to make that run down the line. Doherty decides against trying to lob it into him. Rudiger and Mendy with a mild piece of miscommunication, and swept away from Son, who was putting the pressure on. Wasn't featuring at all under Frank Lampard in the first half of last season. Antonio Rudiger became a mainstay under his compatriot Tuchel. Deli, there you go, picking up the ball really deep. Højbjerg. Lucas Moura. Too much on that. Son have made a clever run. Just wondered if Lucas Moura was actually going to burst towards the D of the penalty area all on his own there. Will feel in part culpable for Chelsea's goal. Kovacic. Ziyech. Razor sharp, doesn't he? Hakim Ziyech at the moment. Alonso, Werner. Away by Tanganga. Finished fourth, just inside the Champions League places. Chelsea, they may well not have come in the top four. Were it not for Spurs beating Leicester. It was a result on final day that saw Spurs get into the Europa Conference League. Chelsea losing at Villa on final day, but because Leicester failed to win, Chelsea hung on to fourth. But they went on to win the Champions League anyway, and they would have qualified via that route had they finished outside the top four. Kovacic. On by Chalobah. Rudiger. Well, shut down by Delhi. And he knew to just wait there, Alonso, for the challenge from Skip. Havertz, who is playing up front, the man who got the winner in the Champions League final. Ziyech. Hudson-Odoi. Race on here for Ziyech. Reguilon does very well. To Galini. Number 4, Bergwijn gives chase. Chalobah, sure he can't get to the ball. Well, this is the Mind Series. Funds raised from the Mind Series matches involving these two teams and Arsenal will be split between Mind and each of the club's charitable foundations. In play here as Ziyech goes down injured, and he will receive some treatment. Any tackle from Reguilon. The Arsenal matches, by the way, on Sunday are available for £7.99 on Spurs TV. With £4 of that subscription going to charity, and if you pay for Sunday's action, you get both the men's and women's North London derbies. Getting some instruction here on the bench if they needed to make a change into their front three. So Christian Pulisic, do have Michy Batshuayi, even have the winger Kennedy, who's had various loans away. You're not just joining us, here is how Chelsea took the lead on around 15 minutes. Lucas Moura dispossessed, and Hakim Ziyech going all the way. again, who's been speaking about his desire to rekindle his career at Spurs. Featured heavily under Ryan Mason at the back end of the season. Said in an interview that he does have numbers in terms of goals and assists that he wants to hit. Ziyech. He's come back on and looks okay. Kovacic. Hunter. Wade Stelling. Now Alonso. It's a great ball out to Nadoy. Ziyech. Thought he didn't have the time to shoot as he did for his goal. Nadoy again. Ziyech. Oh, Alonso was lining that up. Jack Clark there, and he is on the bench for Spurs. Nadoy, good tackle from Reguilon. It's really quick, isn't he, Sergio Reguilon? Made his first appearance of pre-season as a starter against MK Dons a week ago. Fouled by Reguilon. So I'm not particularly happy with the service. Kovacic, part of Croatia's Euro 2020 side, in the same group with England. Chalobah. Ziyech. Back in Ziyech. Can't get around Dyer. Chalobah does well again. Imagine that Conte and Jorginho will be the midfield pairing for Chelsea this season. Alonso gets himself in a tangle under pressure from Doherty. Bergwijn gives chase, and Chalobah's dealt with it. Conte is on it again. It's a menace. Tries to slip in Werner, but he's won it back, and Werner can't beat Chiellini. Good save from the Italian international. It's Timo Werner with a chance, but again it's N'Golo Conte who's making it. Spurs free kick. Son wanted to go quickly, but quite the options ahead of him that he wanted. Chelsea's pre-season so far, they beat Peterborough in a training match, if you like, at Cobham, their training ground, but they've faced Bournemouth away and Arsenal away since. They scored 10 goals in their 3 games. Took the lead at the Emirates through Kai Havertz. Tammy Abraham was on the score sheet that day as well for the Blues. Granit Xhaka with a goal for Arsenal. Doherty, risky ball, gives it to Conte, who waits it into Timo Werner. Ziyech takes on Tanganga and clips the ball into the gloves of Collini. Doherty. Skip. No, fine. Such true here last season. Ball over the top of Werner, who can't collect properly. His movement is devastating, there's no doubt about it, Timo Werner. Doherty and Lucas Moura, good interchange, but there's always a player there. And it's Rudiger this time. Be back with Ben Haynes and Clive Allen at half-time. Nuno says he wants to see his players compete not only on a match day but every day at training. I'm told has brought great energy to Hotspur Way, the club's training ground. He's arrived with his well-established coaching staff. Doherty. Højbjerg, Reguilon. Conte gets rather lucky in the way that sprang to him. Havertz loses out, it's Skip who turns the ball over. Conte is there again. Alonso. Havertz, well helped by Galini. First 10 to the night. Real purpose from Kai Havertz as we approach half-time. Will be the last chance of the first half. Ziyech and Alonso in proximity. Alonso has scored a free kick against Spurs previously at Wembley. But Chelsea have been on top. They do have the lead. Hakim Ziyech's effort after N'Golo Kanté did well to win the ball off Lucas Moura has Chelsea ahead. Timo Werner has been threatening. But hasn't been able to find a way beyond Pierluigi Gollini. Heung-min Son had Spurs' best chance early on when it was deflected into the gloves of Mendy. So half-time at Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
So Spurs behind at half-time, and a little bit of a frustrating one, I guess, more than anything. Lots for Nuno to work on at half-time. Clive Allen's still with us in the studio. Clive, a frustrating half, as I said, and a tough one for Nuno there in terms of what to tweak in the half-time break.
Yeah, as I said, we're playing against a very, very good side. Chelsea controlled that first half. Initially, I thought we started with some intensity. We pressed. It is a big test tonight. This is a European Championship, and they look sharp, I have to say. They look very energetic, and all of a sudden, at times, we've been on the back foot. We've not been able to close down enough. We've not got close enough. You know, sometimes things that you want to see in pre-season that you can put right. Obviously, time's running out for the start of the season, but sometimes, although it's a difficult exercise, it's a very good exercise for everybody.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that's still with Chelsea, this is a side that are kind of nearly a year into sort of a transition phase. They've gone and won the Champions League. You can see they've got a very well drilled and very well oiled system that they're starting to play, and we have to give Spurs benefit of the doubt. First game against Premier League opposition.
Well, what you've got a team is a highly motivated squad. You've got a very successful squad. You've got a very confident squad, and that's what Chelsea are showing this evening.
Okay, well, we've seen in pre-season a lot of the young players getting a lot of game time and also really starting to shine. So here's a great opportunity to get to know them off the pitch as well.
I love hearts.
No, we're not going through it.
So I have my hair sprayed grey.
I used to...
You've heard it here first. Alright, we want to go first.
Go on, stop. Have you ever sat in the wrong person's seat in the dressing room?
Not in the dressing room, but in the meeting room I have. Sat in Deli's seat.
What about the bus?
The bus? Yeah, the bus.
When you first go on, like as a young player, Everyone looking around, trying to work out which one's free, because you don't really want to go in there and sit in someone that's been sat there for years. You just got to be very careful at the start.
Skippy, which emoji do you use the most?
Emoji. Something boring like laughing face, really.
Just loads of laughing faces.
Yeah.
No love hearts? Dane uses the love hearts all the time.
No, I used the, I don't even know what it's called.
Or did you appear in a school play? If so, what character?
In my Year 6 leaving performance, 2010, so you're at a World Cup in South Africa?
Yeah.
We did the World Cup themed one and I played John Motson. So I had my hair sprayed grey. I wore like my mum's tweed blazer. And yeah, I was like the narrator / commentator for the performance. And I smashed it. Would you rather be able to speak to all animals or speak every foreign language in the world?
Every foreign language.
Animals?
Yeah.
Nah, every foreign language.
Humans, man.
Definitely animals.
If you wasn't a footballer, what would you want to be instead?
I like photography, so maybe that. You have a rare day off. What is your perfect day? Lying,
yeah, especially in pre-season. Yeah. If you could go back in time to anywhere, where would you go?
I'll say my baby.
Yeah?
Yeah, when Winksy put that over the top.
And a chance to make history. Dane Scarlett with the run in behind. That was incredible. Super first touch from the England Youth International. Just 16 years of age.
If I could go back to that, I thought of it millions of times before bed.
Oh, in the
The touch. If I could go back.
I wouldn't go back and change any mistakes.
It'd be interesting to go back like thousands of years though.
Yeah.
More than like any time in my lifetime, because it's happened in my lifetime, but going back a long way.
Maybe like before technology and stuff, you know.
Because obviously you hear stories of like grandparents, etc.
Depends where in time and where in the world at that time. Depends how long. I want to go back too far.
Nah, not too far.
Like spend some time in the medieval era. What is the best advice you could give a young footballer?
Whatever you believe, I think you can achieve if you put your mind to it. If you're training every day, just make sure you train 100%. Recovery is just as important as training hard, so like don't do silly things like go out and stuff. Like, just prepare properly for the next session.
Similar, and just I think just appreciate the opportunity you have, really. Like Dane said, working hard and all that, but I think just to appreciate the chance that you've been given.
Enjoy it as well.
Yeah, enjoy it as well. Even when there's going to be times where it's difficult, but try to enjoy it and try and keep as positive as you can in all situations.
First big tackle, you were on the receiving end from a first team player.
Danny Rose. Got a nice scar on my ankle.
That would have been in 2v2s. To be fair, like when you first come up in boxes and like Coco's tearing around.
Coco as well?
Yeah, Coco for me.
Yeah, Coco for me too.
What was the first football shirt you ever owned?
When Tottenham was sponsored by Kappa, it would have been it was a dark green goalkeeper kit. I was so young, I don't remember what year.
I think mine was like a England shirt with like Umbra sponsor.
Yeah.
I had one of those.
That was my first.
I know the kit. Who would you had on the back?
I think I had Rooney.
Yeah.
I had David James.
Typical goal. It wasn't my first, but I remember getting the blue and white Centini Spurs kit.
Yeah.
I can't remember, that would have been like 08, 9. It's probably not my first, but it's one that sticks out.
Yeah. You're cooking dinner. What is your signature dish? Beans on toast. Cheese on it.
Not sure really. I did quite a bit last year, obviously, when you're out on loan.
Tender stem broccoli.
No signature dish, but I reckon I got a spaghetti bolognese in the locker.
In the locker? You reckon? So you think
so.
you might?
I reckon now.
Go on,
I know.
What are the first few steps?
No, we're not going through it.
Oh, interesting. Who is your footballing idol?
Harry Kane. or Ronaldo. They're my two.
Which Ronaldo? R9? Or?
R9.
R9, I knew it. He would have been scary to play against.
Yeah. You're not going to get the haircut.
Stop.
When you score.
First goal for Spurs.
You've heard it.
It's like playing PlayStation. You give the ball to the guy and you start to go through every player.
Is he the best you've played against in your life?
Yes, for sure.
He's not human, and Cristiano is the best of the human.
In my eyes, anyway, Messi is the best ever.
I will go with Leo.
Here he is again. It's absolutely world class.
Messi is one of a kind. What he's doing, I don't know if we will see another player do the things that he does.
The pace is Messi.
30 seconds remaining here at the Santiago Bernabeu.
The Champions League hero against PSG leading the break. Gomes looking for the overlap. Alba inside. It's Messi!
Me llamo Lionel Messi, tengo 13 años, re lindo. Está allá a jugar en el Barcelona, pensar club más grande del mundo.
I hear about him when he was in the academy, and the people say there are one guy who's so good.
Bien, marcamos 5 goles y espero seguir marcando más y nada.
Ronaldinho to Messi. Will he get that first goal for Barcelona? Remember the name, Lionel Messi. At the age of 17, scores his first goal for Barcelona.
It was amazing because he was 17 and the degree of maturity that he shown on touching the ball, you know, above the goalkeeper.
Yo lo estaba buscando, ¿no? Yo quería que él hiciera gol, que las cosas empezaban. Sentaba a mi lado en el vestuario. Entonces tuvimos la oportunidad de empezar una amistad muy verdadera, muy simple. Entonces, la verdad es un grande hombre.
I think he's the best player that's ever donned a pair of football boots, the best dribbler I've ever seen, he's the most imaginative footballer I've ever seen, he's the most skillful footballer I've ever seen, and he's one of the best passers the game has ever seen. So if you put all those things together, you have someone who frankly is clearly not a human being.
It was the first night of which there have been so many since, when 99,000 lucky people at the Camp Nou simply paid homage to something more exciting, more uplifting than they'd ever witnessed before.
And there is chants of his name going around Camp Nou now, following this fantastic performance. And it's Messi who will come off after a performance of real quality. And there's chants of Messi once again around.
Después de 20 minutos me acerté a Frank Rijkaard, que ha sido mi jugador, y le pidió, Frank, ¿puede dejarlo un año a la Juventus?
A Messi.
A Messi. Yo pienso que un jugador de 18 años, jugando un partido con 90.000 espectadores, sí, con esta personalidad, con esta calidad, nunca la había visto.
Messi scored his first Champions League goal against Panathinaikos. Then when Barcelona were drawn against Chelsea in the Champions League in 2006, the British public would get its first opportunity to see this special talent in action.
It's hit the bar.
When Messi has the ball, 1-1-1, you are dead.
Here's a great chance for Messi. It's 1-1. Stopped by Casillas. Blasted in by Messi. Barcelona. That's what Lionel Messi has in mind. Messi takes everybody on. Messi has got it. This is the game that is going to be remembered as the Lionel Messi match. 19 years of age, he gets a hat-trick.
Messi. Oh, brilliant skill from Lionel Messi.
Messi, encara 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 Messi, gol, 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 gol.
And the whole of this ground stands and applauds the 19-year-old. Have you seen a better goal than that anywhere?
Every time you turn the TV on, he scores 2 goals standard at the moment. Individually, he's proved himself to be the most dangerous and best player in world football.
Messi's injury issues would rear their ugly head again, the final straw being when he came off crying in Barcelona's return leg against Celtic in 2008.
The problem is that we never got him stabilized, no, in terms of physics, always recurring injuries on the muscles. We took a kind of a holistic approach to his performance, so really tracking his sleep hours he was taking, individualized stretching plan and re-strength plan for him. He had to do it every day with lots of discipline.
Going into 2008, Barcelona were failing to achieve any form of success. Rijkaard had lost control of his team, and in 2009, Barcelona were appointed with their new manager, Pep Guardiola.
Rijkaard had mostly used him with Barcelona on the right-hand side as a winger. It was Guardiola who had the vision to see that maybe that was a position which restricted him, and actually to get the Lionel Messi unleashed, he had to move him into the middle, and that's what he did. In all matches in the Clásico against Real Madrid, Messi pops up as a kind of a false 9 position.
And you know you can't rest on the laurels, and he's in. Oh, you can't. This could be a killer goal. Lionel Messi takes his time and walks it in. To be fairness, Lionel Messi. It's humiliating for Real Madrid.
Okay, I think that Alex Ferguson prefer Ronaldo. We prefer Leo.
Bring it down. It's 2-0. It's Messi.
I mean, they were special. They were as good as I've came up against by quite some margin. They were just too good.
And this team is the best football team.
Nil-nil here in the Premier League between these two. Last season, Chelsea winning 1-0 in North London thanks to a Jorginho penalty. Just
Just looking at us tactically, I'm just wondering if he's changed it to a back four. Thomas Tuchel playing Trevor Chalobah at right back and Zuma and Rudiger as the two centre backs. Difficult to tell at the moment. Chalobah.
Winks the new man. So Højbjerg, who's gone off for Tottenham, which is no surprise given that he's only just back.
It's a pass into the middle of
the second half.
Between these two last season, Chelsea winning 1-0 in North London thanks to a Jorginho penalty.
Just looking at us tactically, I'm just wondering if he's changed it to a back four. Thomas Tuchel playing Trevor Chalobah at great deal, does he? So I suppose everybody's going to ask the question about Harry Kane and does that bring funds in?
Here's Pulisic. He'll be happy. USA won the Gold Cup earlier this week against Mexico. Mentioned on Sunday he was part of the team that won the new CONCACAF Nations League, but sat out Gold Cup duty.
Well, we maybe have gone to a back four with Alonso playing at left back, but no surprise really, was it, to see him inside the penalty area? It's just a natural way he plays.
Important for Trevor Chalobah, isn't it? Because you could forgive him for thinking, oh, I'm not a right back, I'm not sure about this, but if you can show the boss that you can play in more than one position,
absolutely,
that makes you a much